Hey guys, it's Jack Punkington here, and I've got some new equipment I'm going to show. Today, we're just focusing on the guitar. I've got a new amp right here and a new pedal I picked up. So, longtime viewers of this channel have seen this guitar before. I just got this back yesterday. My grandfather, who is also a guitar player, he actually bought this from me, and we did a trade. I traded him my Gibson LPJ 2014 for this, and if you haven't seen the original video, good. This guitar has changed a little bit, and it's going to be changing soon more too. But this is a Gibson 1979 Explorer. This thing has been beaten and modded like crazy. So in the original video I did with this guitar, basically what happened is I had a Gibson SG, not standard, it was like a special, like one of the Warren specials. It was a 2014 SGJ, that's what it was. But it had been modded with Seymour Duncan custom pickups. I had bought a case for it, and I put on a pickguard and a Grover tuners. And I traded it for this, but it was just the shell with the parts. It wasn't put together. A buddy of mine, ironically, who I got this 212 from, we've done a lot of deals before. He's like, well, I want your SG. I've got this 79 Gibson, but it's a project. You're going to have to put it together. And this took a lot. The wiring was a huge mess. So basically it is a mishmash of parts. You know, the shell is from 79, made here in Michigan in the Kalamazoo factory. The neck pickup is the same as was in the last video. It's just a generic off-brand pickup, but I actually like the bass response on it. The treble pickup is a Bill Lawrence, like original Dimebucker, and then I put these chicken hat knobs on it because I thought it looked cool. And then we've got hip shot locking tuners. As you can see, there is a locking nut on here because at some point in its life, someone routed it out for a Floyd Rose. That is going to be changed here. A buddy of mine, who I've mentioned before, Josh Sage of Thane Guitars, he's an amazing luthier, is going to be working on this once he has some free time, and I've got the cash saved up. This will be a little bit. But he's going to fill that in for me, and we're going to refinish this. This finish has actually been bruised and beaten, and it's actually like off-gassing or something like that. There was an incident where this was in a wet case, or wet gig bag, excuse me, because a cat had peed on the gig bag, and we washed it, threw it in the dryer, and I had to get it to a shop, and I was like, just put it in there real fast, and it was a stupid mistake. The shop left it in the gig bag, and the gig bag was still wet, and part of the finish off-gassed, which means it started to fade and stuff, and it doesn't look good. So we're going to refinish it. I'm thinking either white, glossy white, because I love the idea, with maybe a tortoiseshell pickguard, or black again, but with like a satin black. I'm not sure yet. But this thing has so much mojo. I'm running through the busher, through the 212. I am on the neck pickup. And what I mean by this neck pickup has great bass response. Like, it just sounds good. I do think I am going to replace at least the neck pickup someday, but I've thought about replacing both pickups. Middle position. Oh, here. Let me turn the neck pickup up. I had it turned down. So this is the neck pickup turned up. middle position. And then bridge. And overdrive pick up on. So this thing sounds great. That's a riff I've been working on and I'm writing. Believe it or not, to me, this guitar is actually very important. Not just because it's a cool guitar made here in Michigan. I wrote a lot of songs on this thing. When I was in a band called United Divide, and this was my main guitar, and it's probably gonna be my main guitar again. But I wrote a ton of tunes on it. We have this tune that we would call like ambient or ethereal because it's very like here. So basically, my part of the song was. Hold on. That was the main like verse and intro riff. Well, the chorus riff was. And then that's when I'd come in, you know, switch to the bridge pickup. So it was always to be like a big sound, and it was a lot bigger because, you know, we had a full band, and it was a guitar, bass, another guitar player, a bass player, and a drummer. And the other guitar player had a really cool. His name's Henry. He's a great guy. I mean, everybody in this band they were great guys. Just stuff happens, bands break up, and it had like this big full sound that just started from something small that got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then came back down. So that was like one of my favorite songs I ever wrote. Another song that we had, we never really decided on a title. It just kind of went to Clinically Insane. And I wrote it on this guitar. Everything we played was in standard. I'm in drop, well, I was in drop C. I'm in D standard. It's hard to think. Something very similar to that, but in standard tuner. So, this guitar, it was cool to finally get it back. I'd worked really hard on it, getting it, and the way this neck feels, and it could just be because it's been molded by people playing on it for years. It's perfect. It's like a slim C, but has this little roundedness in the back that just makes it a little bit bigger. I actually had a few different pick guards for this. I don't know where they all went. So we just got the classic white. The other reason why I love Explorers, one of my favorite smaller bands, they're getting a little bit bigger now because they had a new album come out this year. It's called Dinosaur Pilot. The lead singer and guitar player plays a Gibson Explorer. I don't know what years his is, but it's just this classic, and he just rocks out on it, and I'm like, yeah. So, which is cool because I was actually, when I got this back yesterday, I was like, hold on, because I started to learn their new song, and I was like, oh, it kind of sounds cool because he runs JCM 800s. And I have no idea what tuning it is or anything. I just learned it by ear. But there's just something about having an Explorer that makes you feel like, yeah, like I'm ready to rock on stage, and I'm just like, yeah. It gets you amped up to play guitar, and it's so cool. It's neat for me too because, I like Gibson. I had a little rocky opinion on them the last few years, and I'm steadfast on that, and that I don't think on modern day Gibson anything past 2014 is not worth buying in my opinion yet. I haven't had something that I've tried and I'm like, oh, this is cool. No, 2014 was the cutoff year for me. But this is a 79, and it has so much mojo. It's so cool. Has a headstock repair because, of course, a Gibson has a headstock repair. This one's actually done really, really well. You can't really even see it unless you're directly looking at it. It has a little chip right here, and then there's a line right there. I think they did a good job. Like I said, this is gonna be refinish. It's gonna have that patch in the back filled, so that'll be really cool. But I wanted to do an updated video on this because A, I haven't had this guitar in 2 years, and B, that video really didn't do it justice because the bridge pickup that was in it was crap. It was very thin, it sounded terrible. So it'll be cool to get this thing refinished. I'll do another update video of it when it's done. So hopefully in the next couple days I can show you guys the Warlock. I'm waiting to get the body back from my neighbor. He said it should be done today or tomorrow, so we'll see. And I'll show you the new amp that's right here and my new pedal. So anyway, Jack Punkington signing out. Peace, guys!